Welcome back, everyone. We are counting down to the CNN-hosted Democratic presidential debate in Las Vegas, Nevada. And right now, new CNN polls show Hillary Clinton with big leads in two early voting states. In Nevada, the former Secretary of State has the support of 50% of those who say they are likely to attend the Democratic caucus in February. Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont comes in second with 34%. Clinton has a much larger lead over Sanders among likely primary voters in South Carolina, 49 to 24%, as you see there on your screens. Well, joining me now is Democratic Congresswoman Karen Bass of California, who will no doubt be watching Tuesday's debate with great interest.
I will.
You will indeed, Congresswoman. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Tuesday night's event. The stage is set. You have already endorsed Hillary Clinton.
Yes, I have.
You are supporting her. So talk to me about what she has to do when she takes the stage for this Democratic debate. What's your view?
Well, I think the main thing is that she needs to talk about her record. She needs to talk about her experience. She needs to talk about her experience and her record in foreign affairs as well as in domestic issues. I think she'll hold her own. She's had an awful lot of experience with debates, so I'm looking forward to it.
She's also had an awful lot of controversy in recent months, as you well know. She has been dogged by this email scandal, if you will, her use of a personal server while she was Secretary of State, as well as these numerous Benghazi probes.
Right.
Can she shake these issues, or have these become her Achilles heel?
Well, you know what? When I say she's had a lot of experience, she's had a lot of experience with this as well, in terms of all of the years that she was First Lady, the investigations that the Republicans did. So I think this is just another example. And we've seen the Republicans reveal this, the real reason for the Benghazi hearings. And we also heard the former staffer just the other day talk about the purpose of the hearings was to go after Hillary Clinton.
The head of the committee, of the Benghazi committee, says that is not the case, that this is just griping on the part of the fired staffer. But you will admit it has had an impact on her numbers.
Sure, it has. But I do believe that it will be fine. Now, you know, when the staffer was talking about it, yes, he's a disgruntled staffer. He got fired. But if you look back over their agenda, number one, they've had very few hearings. They've had interviews with witnesses in secret. They've essentially excluded Democratic participation. And so if you look at what they have really done over this last year, spending over $1 million in an investigation, I think it's pretty clear what their purpose is.
Let's talk about her nearest challenger, Bernie Sanders, on that stage tomorrow night. He has morphed into a serious contender. I'm sure you would agree.
Yes, he has.
Many people would say it's because of this issue of authenticity. People say he possesses that, and they feel it coming off him when he's on a stage, when he speaks to voters. They pose him in contrast to Hillary Clinton on that issue. How much of a challenge does he pose to Hillary Clinton tomorrow night and beyond, in your view? Well,
I think if you look at his numbers in certain states, there's absolutely a challenge. But if you look at other states, she's leading by 10, 20 points. But, you know, I love the sentiment around Bernie Sanders, though. I mean, the crowds that he's drawing. I think that's very important. He's energizing a sector of the Democratic base, and that needs to happen. Now, of course, I hope that my candidate winds up as the nominee, and that all of that support that we see around Bernie Sanders will continue around Hillary Clinton.
With that in mind, do you think Hillary Clinton will moderate her interactions, or the animus, if you will, if it exists, between her and Bernie Sanders, because she wants to make sure she doesn't alienate those who support him right now?
You know, and from what I have seen from both of them, I'm not sure that animus is there. And so I was watching an interview with him a couple of days ago, and he pointed out how he specifically does not go after her in a negative way, that he's never campaigned negatively, and so I hope that that continues.
Bernie Sanders is saying that, but what about the other three men on that stage?
Well, that's another
They're the
story.
wild card. I mean, do you see the fireworks coming from them?
Well, you know, I do. And what I think is sad now is that it's like you have a debate, this is your one shot at it, so you need to be as negative and as sharp as possible. And so I think that they might feed into that, feeling that this is their time to make themselves known. And then I think everybody looks at the Carly Fiorina Serena example and say, we want to emulate her. She was a nobody before, and after that debate, you know, she shot up in the polls. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if they were very combative, and that if Bernie and Hillary, their posture was completely different.
Do you think negative attacks waged in the Democratic field yield the same results amongst Democratic voters as they do for Republicans?
I absolutely don't think so. And I mean, you look at my house, for an example, in the House of Representatives, you couldn't have a situation that was more negative than that, where you have the Republicans who have essentially cannibalized each other. You never find that type of behavior on the Democratic side, and I don't believe that you'll see that tomorrow. Even though I do believe that the three will try to make their mark, I don't think they'll do it in the same fashion as we've seen on the Republican
Let's
side.
talk about the one man who's not on the stage tomorrow night. We don't even know if he'll be there, yet he looms large.
Right.
You know, I'm talking about Joe Biden, the vice president. Do you want to see him run? What would he bring to the race if he does run?
Well, I mean, he brings incredible experience, having run for president a couple of times before and been vice president. But, you know, my heart just breaks for Vice President Biden. He's a wonderful person, and I know the grief he's going through, and it's just really incredible. And so the idea of him jumping in the race, I'm one that in my gut, I don't believe that that's going to happen. But who knows? It's presidential season.
It is indeed. And lots of things happen.
Exactly.
Congresswoman Bass, thank you so much for coming in and spending time with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.